LSU at Florida. Gators favored by 2.5 points. Game kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN. Over under 50.5 points. One of the best rivalries in the SEC. These games are almost always close. First matchup, of course, Brian Kelly, Billy Napier. Who you got winning the game?
I think you hit the nail on the head there, man. So I was talking to somebody not too long ago about SEC rivalries, and of course you hear the Iron Bowls and the third Saturday in Octobers and the all of them. Lexington, Kentucky and Louisville and Clemson and South Carolina. We just went round and round. They said, what is one rivalry that nobody talks about enough? And this was the first game I brought up, because when you look at these two guys playing, it doesn't – throw the record books out. It does not matter. This is a game that typically comes down to the final one or two possessions, and it's usually which team makes the stupid mistake along the way. It's not which team excels, which team does better. It's like which team fumbles, which team throws a shoe, which team – it's like all this other – you could just throw it all out, because this game is going to come down the wire, and this year will be no different, brother. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Here's two programs that haven't quite got it together yet, but I feel like LSU is progressively getting better. And I know you look at that score, Tennessee Vols, and you say, man, they got the brakes beat off of them. No, they didn't, man. They beat themselves up a little bit there at the start. And there was some moments in that game they could have made this thing interesting, and they just weren't able to capitalize. They couldn't keep up with the Tennessee Volunteers. Brother, they could keep up with the Florida Gators. If Florida Gators would have continued down their trajectory after that Knoxville game, I think these guys, hands down, would be a double score favorite coming into this matchup. But the fact that they live on a roller coaster, we don't know what Anthony Richardson's going to show up here. And you can't say it's a home away thing, because they look like shit this week against Missouri. You know what I'm saying? He looked like shit when he played against South Florida. I think that's part of the things that drives me nuts. And Anthony has just burnt me more than anybody right now. So I got to see a couple of games put together again and to instill that confidence that he can lead this program to. So enough rambling, Shane. I think we know what you're saying here. LSU's going to win this thing. Well, you're right. LSU Tigers going to get a big victory this week, but by a little margin. So I'm going to take LSU 27, Florida Gators 24. Close ball game, Mike. I think this is one that Florida kind of lets get away. It just kind of feels that way, and they start getting a little heat there at the end and maybe make this a ball game, but it's just a little too late.
Well, you may have thrown a wrench in what I was going to say, Shane, because I was saying, well, maybe Anthony Richardson only shows up at night at home, and then you jogged my memory. South Florida, my God, that was a night game.
That's right.
That may have been his worst one. So, whoo, boy.
Kentucky.
Well, and Kentucky. Oh, yeah, they're all bad.
I mean,
maybe he can only play at 3:30 on CBS. I do not know, but. Yeah, this is just an impossible game to predict, Shane. I mean, LSU, their offensive line's banged up. It seems like they're losing confidence that they had early in the season, still trying to figure out how in the hell they beat Mississippi State, whereas Florida, maybe, Shane, maybe we look back by the end of the season and say, they're still figuring things out. I mean, you're winning the ball games, even if they're ugly. You're putting forth a team effort. And, that says something about a first-year coach who the team is just not fully pushing in the right direction. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that you win.
Yeah.
But, I almost want to Honda Morristown this bad boy. You know what? It is at home, so obviously Florida's got a little bit of an advantage. But if this was at LSU, I think LSU would be favored. So,
yeah.
Man, LSU just... I don't even know if they're bad, Shane. I think Tennessee might just be that damn good and made them look bad. You know what I mean?
I know, absolutely. I'm with you. I completely get you, man.
And LSU just not utilizing the weapons they have. What happens if they do? Are they maybe one of the surprise teams in the back half of the season? This is a must-win for all parties involved, Shane, and I'm basically closing my eyes, throwing a dart at that damn dartboard and hoping it hits on the winner. I'm going Florida 24, LSU 23, 1 point ball game. So I got Florida winning, LSU covering. And hell, you could talk me into anything here. I just got no pulse on either one of these teams right now.
How do you get 23? So that's a lot of field goals, right? I'm not good with math. Or somebody missed an extra point. I can see it. It's just that damn ugly, huh? I can't even throw a number out there. I'm going to say Florida 4, LSU 2. No, this one, I'm totally with you, Mike. And the more I talk about it, the less confident I am in this game. There's some things that I want to get off my chest here, and this is me watching a couple of LSU games.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for Booty, or however you want to say it, to put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he doesn't have a breakout game against the University of Florida, I don't want to hear how great he was last year anymore. I've watched too many games of them telling us how fantastic of a season he had, and it's just nothing's coming to fruition down there at LSU. They got to find ways to get him involved, and it felt like they tried to do a little bit of that with Tennessee, with just anything and everything to orchestrate opportunities for him. But they really need to lean into that or just get off the pot. I think that's that's just my 2 cents. Right. I'm tired of talking about how great Booty is and not seeing results from it. And
how about this defensive line that everybody and their mother touted up, Shane? And not to say they're like horrible, but they're just. I mean, Tennessee steamrolled them again. Tennessee may just be one of the best teams in the country, but that's a game you got to step up and you got to assert yourself. And now you got to get up off the mat. Florida's offensive line a little banged up. Their best lineman, Osiris Torrance, is a little banged up. I think he's going to play in this ball game. If he misses it, man, that's going to be a critical piece missing. If whether he's banged up or not, whether he's playing or not, LSU's defense has got to take control of this one. Mm-hmm. Keep Anthony Richardson in that pocket. He's been obviously far less effective as a passer than he is a runner. They break containment, let Anthony Richardson run wild. That'll lead to a Florida victory. You know what?
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the reasons I kind of leaned toward LSU during this game, and I know we're talking a lot about this Florida matchup, but the fact they played a similar quarterback this week, so it's a little easier to game prep against Florida, I think, in that scrambling capability that Anthony Richardson have. So I don't know if that's a part, but it just feels to me like it's going to be a time of possession game, whoever has that, because both of these teams are extremely thin on defense, and I feel like that's part of the problem with both these guys is toward the end of the games, they've only got so much gas in the tank. And I think whoever you could keep on the field the longest is the one that's going to suffer when it comes down to the end. So I still like LSU, but man, I am not confident at all.
Now, how about this one, Shane? Another